Hi guys. So this video is about obviously trading, and the title of the video says how I won the Robbins World Cup of Trading. And I want to talk about the Robbins World Cup of Trading a little bit because I think this is something you should know. This is something probably you should also have a look at, because it is something which is around since 1984, I believe. And when we scroll back here to the history, we can see that the Robbins World Cup of Trading is around since 1984, and it's quite a cool thing because a lot of really famous guys are in there, like Larry Williams, super interesting guy, and also his daughter Michelle Williams is also in here, so quite interesting. So Larry, I think he basically made the all-time the all-time performance record, and then Michelle, his daughter, also an actress, she made it 10 years later, 11 years later, to an amazing result as well. And this is kind of the gold standard of trading competitions, trading championships. Robbins, the name Robbins basically comes from the family, so it's a family-driven business. I think father and two sons are working there, and and I obviously take part of it as well. And the recent competition here ended in June, the end of June, and I almost won. Basically by 0.9%. I would then be first. Congratulations to Pau, amazing trader. Why? Because you can see this. He also participates here in this third quarter event. He's doing amazingly well. For this quarter, I decided not to trade because I want to focus on honestly business stuff and trading. These accounts is quite, I would say, intense, and the reward isn't there. So I will talk a little bit about that in the future. The event per se is a great event. I think this is something which is kind of cool, and overall it is quite expensive though to trade with it, and so you really have to know what you do because the trading fees are pretty high. I would like to show you now how and what I used to trade in this event. This is not a one-hit wonder, so this was just a recent event. I was participating there as well before, and so I just dropped out of there. But basically, I have could show you a lot of screenshots, ranking under the top 5 and top 3. But having said that, I want to talk more or less about the strategy, what I was using, because I think this is quite helpful. I want to step by step guide you through what I did and how you can do this for yourself as well. I mean, overall it comes down to position management, how aggressive you are, but I think this is the approach you can use on I would say on aggressive kind of way, and also on the kind of manner when you are not that aggressive. I can also guide you through then how I traded, maybe to show you the trades, the most beautiful trade maybe as well. But let's start. So I have basically 3 steps on what I like to do in this kind of competitions, also in my regular, let's say, day trading part. And my step 1 is always the same. I look at the daily chart. Obviously, I think this is something what you do as well. You maybe start in the daily chart, weekly chart, and you want to get an understanding of the overall structure of the market. Are we trading up? Are we trading down? Are we sideways ranging? And how does the overall daily chart look like? Does it look friendly? Is it positive or not? Do we have major resistance coming or major support? Obviously, this is stuff we have to lay down. No indicator, no standard indicator can help you there. So this is the homework what you have to do. So when we have a look at this, you can basically see my Nasdaq chart. This is actually the Nasdaq chart I'm using every day. And we are trading at all-time highs. Market sold off a little bit to the close on Friday. Today is Saturday, the 26th of July. And but as said, I'm trading most of the time this market. Get first of all an overview if you're bullish, bearish, ranging or trending. So first thing what I look at is really how's the overall sentiment of the market sentiment. Then second, I'm asking myself a question: trending or ranging? And this to me is the most important question. Are we trending or ranging in the bigger time frames, in the smaller time frames? And this is the most important question in my opinion. Yes, sentiment is important. Are we bullish, bearish? But the second point is really the most important one. Are we trending or ranging? And third then, this is the final one, is any support or resistance close? Okay, what I'm trying to say here is the following. Are we running into major support or major resistance? So obviously this is important as well. So sentiment, does the market trend or is it ranging? And do we have any major support resistance pretty close? So I think this is a two-step setup what I'm using here in this daily chart. And obviously I have this as I have this in front of me every day. For me, this is daily business, so to say. To explain a little bit what was going on, this red shaded triangle here was a kind of an area of uncertainty for me. So there are sections in the market, or there are times in the market when everything is relatively clear, and then there are also times when you don't know, when you don't have the confidence, and then obviously becomes more, I think, more challenging to trade, or you have to apply less size. Okay, but we will talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so first setup, I think this is quite clear. Sentiment, status, are we ranging or trending? And then is there any support and resistance pretty close? Check mark, let's go further. So I am going now to the 1 hour chart, same market, the NASDAQ, and I'm using here a tool what I love to do. It's a free tool. You basically can get this for free as well through us, TradingIQ, no question. It's a statistical tool to analyze the recent trading behavior of the last 20,000 hours. So when we go back here, we can see the bars calculated are 20,000. This is the standard setting what we're using. That's how it is. No other questions asked. So we go back 20,000 hours, and basically if you have a look at it, how much time is this? So 20,000 divided 24 hours. In the Forex market, at least, or in the crypto market, this would be about 833 days. In the equity markets, it's a little bit more. Okay, but we go back 20,000 hours. Why? Because with a free plan of TradingView, you will get 20,000 hours of data. And that's the reason why we've chosen also the 1 hour chart setting for this tool, for the session statistics, because we just love it. And it gives you a good overview and a good understanding what's happened in the last, let's say, 2.5, 3 years. All right, having said that, we will get then a good understanding of the behavior in the next couple of hours. Why? Because these session statistics, as you can see, is forming and giving us some data here. It builds out the following, and I want to talk about this a little bit in detail, because for me, this is an everyday process what I'm using. So first things first, we have here on the right top, we have our, let's say, data box, which gives us information. We basically, and this comes from the crypto market and Forex market as well. We have different kind of sessions: New York, Sydney, Tokyo, London, right? Basically today markets are trading 24/7, crypto market trades 24/7. The equity markets are trading more or less 24 hours a day during the week. That's the reason why we want to understand how the trading behavior is during the individual sessions. So maybe Asia has a complete different and opposite behavior like the New York session. So we can see this here, and we look here at the NASDAQ. We can see here, for example, that in these times, the cumulative results have been quite well. So in the last 20,000 hours, 40%, 37.8% of the return was created in the New York session. And then we can see basically some more statistics when the performance is negative. How does the day look? And the best day and the worst day gives us some understanding what to expect. And then we start using these statistics to give us some average numbers, right? So the regular negative session here in the NASDAQ during the New York session, this is the one I just traded, minus 0.38%, the positive one 0.43%. So that's all, I guess, kind of normal and to be expected. and when we talk about the numbers, but now it becomes a little bit interesting. So when we have a very, very bullish sentiment and we go, basically the market is rallying, we can see here 75% of the time the market stays below this section. This is our 75% zone, and this is a 75% low zone here. Again, guys, you will be able to play around with this for free. This is an indicator we give out for free. It's nothing special. It just makes sense. No rocket science, but it makes sense. So having said that, this is what I'm looking at from the statistical analysis point of view. And then it becomes a little bit more interesting, more practical, I guess. I look at these extremes, and this is what I do every day. I look at these extremes here, and the low as well. And I want to understand where are our next major support and resistance zones here in the hourly time frame. And this time we had a support zone here. Kind of there's a confluence between this statistical model and here the price action. On obviously on the top there's nothing because it's a new all-time high, so there's no need to search right now. There's no all-time high, and that's what I do here for the second step. All right, so I have a basic understanding now of market structure and also about the statistic for this day. Okay, second kind of step in my analysis. And then it becomes, as a third step, super practical. Then I use TradingIQ. Roddy is my nickname, and that's basically when you're old and when you do something for a long time, you want to have fun. That's the reason why we basically put my name into this indicator, TradingIQ, combined with TradingMA. And that's basically an indicator you will get for free as well. It's a combination of self-learning combined with market structure analysis. And what we do here in this example, we look at the market from the time frame, from multiple time frames. So in this example, for my day trading, for my active day trading, this is what I use for the Robbins World Cup of Trading. Just to inform you, it's a day trading approach at Robbins. I was using a 1 minute time frame and I combined it with a 5 minute and 15 minute. So I want to trade with the bigger flow. I want to trade obviously with the bigger direction. And that's what I use then here for my analysis. Okay. So what am I doing is I trade long when TradingIQ turns blue. I trade short when TradingIQ turns negative. Sounds quite simple, and it is simple, but on top of this there is one more enhanced rule what I love to use, because these are my high probability setups, and I want to talk about this here in a brief moment. So you see that I've marked down here, or that I've marked here, the breakout here of TradingIQ, and then we basically had a bullish follow-up. So when we turned bullish, the market rallied 89 or till 90 points in a 1 minute time interval. It's not bad, but we can also see that the TradingMA actually, it's negative, right? It's negative. Why? Because it's from a higher time frame, and it will need time to adapt. But now it becomes interesting. I love to trade my high probability setups when trend and my self-learning AI based, really it's a self-learning AI based TradingMA is long as well. And these are now two setups what I love to trade. TradingMA here is short, so it's red, right? I make this red here so that it's clear. This one is red. TradingIQ is TradingIQ is turning red, so everything is aligned, and then I look for short trades with higher probability. And what I will do is I will enter the market with smaller size, and if we have breakouts towards the low, basically when we break out to new lows, I will add to the position. So I'm trying to build a pyramid, and I'm trying to squeeze out as much as I can. I personally love to trade on the long side. I mean, probably this is why I'm so optimistic all the time. But what I'm trying to do, or what I'm trying to say is, high probability setups allows me to add to the position. Quite frankly, this is what I do. This is basically my daily bread and butter. All right. So setup number one explained. So this is an example here what we had, and then obviously TradingMA turned bullish here. and then Roddy IQ turned blue as well. This doesn't happen too often that it becomes blue right away, but this year was a perfect opportunity to get involved on the long side. MA bullish, Roddy IQ bullish, and then thank you very much. This was a nice ride to the upside, and yeah, and that's basically what I did and what I traded there, right? So how do I approach the losses? How do I approach, or what do I use to limit my losses? And frankly speaking, you have to look at the chart. You just can't look, you have to look at the recent swing lows and highs. And that's what I do as well. Obviously, there's no rocket science behind this. So let's assume we would have entered here. Initial stop is always the last swing low. There's nothing else we can do, in my opinion. And then we talk about when we are able to really start to move the stop. So let's talk about the stop first. Let's delete this real quick. So initial stop is below the recent swing low. Zack. And then we start to grind up. The market starts to grind up. As we can see, the market builds new lows, and lower, basically it builds new higher lows here. And obviously I will start to trail the stop after these lows. So coming back to the trade entry, and I put the trade entry here. Initial stop will always be like there. So it's a 70-point initial loss. But as soon as we've taken out the recent swing high, I will be able to move the stop really to a 10 or 12-point loss. And then you guys, you can see we made here 200 points maximum to the upside, which gives crazy risk reward ratios. Why? Because we can add to the positions if we have the confidence. And trading is all about confidence. If you're not confident, I'm trading small. If I'm not confident, I'm really trying to stay small and trade smaller size, but have something in the, let's say, game. Other than that, I'm really trying, when the stars are aligned, I'm trying to trade aggressive, basically. That's what I do. This is the approach, what I'm using as well with Roddy IQ. And this is 100% the approach I used with Robbins World Cup of Trading. And actually this approach is, I would say, 70 to 75% of what I do. There's nothing special. There's some supply and demand trading next to this, but overall it's really trading with the flow, trading with the trend, and that's basically what I love. And then it's about money management and basically having conviction in a trade. Maybe about the setup of Roddy IQ. In addition, Roddy IQ, so the indicator which colors the candles has three kind of stages. Stage 1, it's blue, means bullish. So the stars are aligned 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes. So you can see this here, multi-time frame. This is then all long, and then basically I would be trading long if the candles are blue. If we are gray, it means neutrality. The market doesn't really give us a clear picture. Overall, this, if I want to trade, I need to trade small. I'm not allowed to trade aggressive. Why? The stars are not aligned. And then stage number 3, if Roddy IQ is red, I'm allowed to trade on the short side. I'm not allowed to trade on the long side. And that's it, right? So beautiful, simple, efficient approach. 3-step model. We started the daily chart. We go back down to the hourly chart to get a better idea. We look at supply demand. We maybe work with trend lines. And then when it comes down to executions, we go to Roddy IQ, which basically shows us the way anyways, because it's a multi time frame analysis tool built in. Guys, I just can recommend it to you to use. This is exactly the approach I used for Robbins World Cup of Trading. No fancy stuff in there, but stuff which works for me a couple of times here. I think I've made it now the 3rd or the 4th time under the top 3. I have some awards at home or in my office. That's about it. Guys, thank you very much. I wish you a good time and good trades, and don't risk all in one trade. Trade small, but trade high probability setups. Thank you very much. All the best, all the love. Goodbye from Roddy.